me know when I'm ready.
Hold on. Oh, you lying.
Am I live now? Okay. Well, uh, happy Saturday, everybody. So we had some technical difficulty. So we have managed to get some things up. So thank you for being patient. But I want you to, if you're on, click like and share. Click like and share. Um, I want the one where go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. That one. This one. Yep, that one. So hold on just a second though. I don't want it up. Okay, okay. So listen, click like and share. And happy Saturday. We had some technical difficulty. If you are out and about in the city of Flint, there are a lot of great things going on. Back to the Bricks. I remember when it first started. Back to the Bricks is out tonight, and it's a beautiful, or today. It's a beautiful sunny day. So get out with your family and your friends, and enjoy some of the things that are out there. For those South Siders, they have the South Side reunion, which is today. So there are some great things which are actually out there. So click like and share. And I'm sorry about the delay. Listen, we're gonna do a little bit of house cleaning today. We're gonna sweep out the lies because we need to make sure we are walking on the truth. We're gonna sweep them out. So we have had, and I'm gonna share some of this, Mickey, because I had not. We had, like I said, we had technical difficulty this morning. Um, one of the things that has happened this past week, we have a monthly leadership meeting, and in this leadership meeting, it got a little contentious. But I appreciate the fact that, and it's a Black leadership meeting, to where we're supposed to be able to, when we work in the public, deal with the issues and the topics that are happening right there before our eyes. And so that to me, I appreciate. So one of the topics was the elephant in the room. Now it might have been should have been a little bit larger than probably elephant, more like a dinosaur, a pterodactyl. I don't know which is bigger, because there's some things that need to be talked about. So when we talk about um, things that are happening in our community, I want to start with number one. Um, and I'm gonna say, when we're gonna do some house cleaning, I need to get this off my chest. So when people say things, I need them to be factual before you accuse me of anything, or think it's my responsibility to police adults. It's not my responsibility to police adults. It's not. But I do invoke my opinion, and I will talk to people. But some of these things are just ridiculous. So it gets to the part in the meeting, which it was a good meeting, I feel. And it was time for announcements. If anyone had time for, if anyone had any announcements, it was that time to say, hey, like coming up this weekend, back to the Bricks, or coming up this weekend, Southside reunion, or mine, September 9th, we will be having our sixth ward annual all six ward meeting for everyone, which will be at Coolidge Square. I have Community First, who is a great partner to the sixth ward, and it's going to be at Coolidge. I'm at Coolidge, in the gym at the old Coolidge School, which is now Coolidge Square. Communities First is a great partner to the sixth ward, and I appreciate Joel and Glenn Wilson for always accommodating the sixth ward. So when it's time for announcements, we get Mr. Ed Taylor. Now, Mr. Ed Taylor, I don't know why you and me having these problems. I really don't know. Well, if I'm in a room with other council people, I need you, sir, to be factual. Because Mr. Ed Taylor, when it's time for announcement, he said, hey, I have an announcement. He said, I got one. Okay, so everyone looks towards Mr. Taylor, who's standing at the door. And Mr. Taylor says, I want everybody to know City Council is not responding. Shelley Sparks Green now works with Emily Dorr, and City Council is not responding. She sent everybody an email, and they not responding. Now, Mr. Ed Taylor, you know good and darn well I'm not going to sit up and let you tell that lie on Tonya Burns. I'm not going to let you do it. So I said to him, I said, Mr. Taylor, respectfully, because he was not respectful when he started spouting off. Mr. Taylor, that is simply not true. I did not get the email until yesterday, late afternoon. Email came in at 4:29 p.m. where Tiffany Rodriguez, who works for the mayor's office, sent the email from Shelley Spark. Now, everybody know, which I've been transparent. We're gonna put that email up next. But the first email, if I have a question for anything, I was told I have to have send the email, and then I have to have an in-person meeting. So I guess that's special treatment or whatever. But everybody knows my favorite thing is transparency. I'm going to be transparent. So he states that Tiffany Rodriguez sent the email on behalf of Shelley Sparks Green. And Shelley Sparks Green seems to be very lovely, but Shelley Sparks Green, you do not want Ed Taylor doing your bidding for you. I promise you that, because he just made it messy. Mr. Taylor just came in there and told a big lie. So our meeting at the leadership meeting was at 12 o'clock. I didn't get my email until 4:29 p.m. Mickey, can you put up the email, please? So the email, which is at the top, date Wednesday, August 16th, it states 4:29 p.m. So I stated to Mr. Taylor, I said, Mr. Taylor, I just got the email this week. Now y'all got it last week or whatever it is. No. We didn't get it last week. Tiffany Rodriguez sent that email August 16th at 4:29 p.m. The leadership meeting was 12 o'clock, August 17th. So he needs to go back to his people and get his people together. Don't come in the room yelling and screaming and telling something that just simply wasn't true. And the email states, "Good morning, Councilwoman. I'm reaching out on behalf of Ms. Shelley Sparks Green. She is requesting a meeting with you when you have availability. If you could please send me a date and time that works, I would be very grateful to get this meeting scheduled." Now, she has, you can take it down. Thank you, Mickey. So that's the email. Everybody see the date on the email. Now, here's the problem. I'm not meeting with her. Not after Ed Taylor came and did that mess. If you have pure intention, somebody should have told the deputy chief of staff, do not come into yet another meeting and tell something that's simply not true. That email has a timestamp and date. I hadn't had that email 24 hours. I had not had it 24 hours. When he came in there and said we had got it a week. No. It wasn't even 24 hours. It wasn't a full day. So when you come in, this just looks messy to me. You know, he coming in there yelling and screaming, you know, and then he throwing his arms up. He needs to stop this. And I'm so tired of it. I have never seen so much dysfunction. So here's the time, state, and damp on it. The time, state, time stamp and date. So am I going to meet with Shelley Sparks? Any questions that I have, I will talk or ask them in council, because I want to be transparent. Because clearly, when they send in emails, they're not stating when they send in emails. And then when people come in and yelling in a whole separate meeting in a whole separate location, non-factual information. So, and here's another, let's put up the second email, Mickey, which is going to be the one. This one is dated. This was regarding the ARPA allocation. Yeah, that one. So I want y'all to know that I'm transparent and I'm telling you the truth. You know, so when I have stated I have to have an in-person meeting on any and all things, I'm not just saying this because I made it up. It's real. It's real. And listen, now imagine if every little thing I had to schedule a meeting. I may as well just bring my sleeping bag, my bonnet, and everything, and just sleep at City Hall, because I have a lot of questions. But my questions are thought out. If I cannot find it on my own, then I request if something's not making sense. But I do my own research first. So on this one, June 1st, 9:56 a.m., Lottie Ferguson sends back to me. She says, "Good morning. I have been reminded if you'd like a discussion regarding ARPA," and then she puts in comma, "or anything else, that the request be sent to Mr. Edwards, Clyde Edwards, to set up an in-person meeting. So Clyde told a lie and said that email was never sent, that I had to set it up. So in the meeting, I said, well, Ms. Devers, would you like me to turn that? I have it up on my laptop. Would you like me to bring my laptop so you can read it? No, I said it. And I said, no, hold on, let me get it. Okay, it may have been sent. No, it may have been sent, sir. It was sent. Which he said, I have to have an in-person meeting on anything. Now we got 9 council people. Why are they singling out Tonya Burns? Why does Tonya Burns have to have an in-person meeting? And I've met with them in person. And the reason why I don't meet with them in person, because they come out the meetings, they lie. That's why I do not. And the public needs to know that we are being transparent. They're not meeting, for the will or the good of the city. They meeting so they can control a narrative. It's always a narrative. So I'm meeting in public because I want the public to see what they're saying. Just like these emails they said that they didn't exist. I didn't get this one they sent last week. No, you sent it, we didn't have it. I didn't have it, 24 hours. This other one, you said that Clyde Edwards said that I didn't have to have an in-person meeting. Yeah, you did tell Lottie Ferguson that, and she sent it in the email. Now Lottie's gone. I wish her very well. I appreciate her following up, because when I first sent her that email, she was on vacation. I'm like, no, enjoy your vacation. And so we look at how things are done, and then they'll go and twist that story and completely change it. So when I look at what, how things are going, you get discouraged sometimes. I do, but you keep it moving. And for me, I'm sorry, I hadn't had a chance to share a lot of this stuff because we started a little bit late. I keep it moving, but I'm gonna tell you, I get tired. So here's my last house cleaning for today. I get a lot of people who say that, not a lot, and I take that back. People expect, because if on that council, that someone's going to govern Councilman Eric Mays. That is not going to happen. That is a grown man. He get ready to be 65, as he tell everyone in September. He tell you how old, and he has given himself the title of, he is the senior councilman. Okay, he is appointed that one, and he tell everybody he's been on there almost 10 years. So he tells people. So when we talk about some of the things that have happened, and the hot topics, those T-shirts with handkerchief head Negro on it that were given out at that meeting, and people were wearing them, and also the handkerchief head Negro dance that Councilman Mays was doing. And how did all of that come about? Okay, so I'm gonna, and I've been asked why, and even Quincy Murphy has said, well, you don't defend me. Quincy Murphy has called me all kinds of swear names when I used to share, and was just so extremely disrespectful. Now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to protect my attacker. That's a slave mentality. I am not protecting my attackers. I will not do that. I will simply not. I'm not going to say, because someone else is saying to you, but you have attacked me, now you want me to protect you. You better go. I'm not doing that. I don't have that slave mentality. I'm not doing it. So getting back to the handkerchief head niggers, put up that one. First, the TikTok, that I think it's a TikTok above that one, Mickey, and it's going to be the last one. And
this one right here, I get in trouble.
That one. Play that TikTok again, because I'm going to explain.
Hold on a second. I got you. You can narrate there while I say this.
So when we talk about the handkerchief head nigger and how it came about, and there were several issues with that. First time that Councilman Mays called someone handkerchief head nigger was Councilman Herbert Winfrey. And I called Councilman Herbert Winfrey at the time, and I spoke with him. Me and Councilman Mays have had it out a few times, but this is the current time where I'm gonna tie all this together. But play this TikTok, and then I'm gonna bring it all together for everybody.
And you're interrupting me. And again, as I said last time, you're unprofessional.
And I'm done, Madam Chair. Good, because you know what? This is not going to be your day. I'm going to let you know that.
Oh, it's not your
It's
day.
not
Go
your
ahead,
day.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. What you going to do? What are you going to do? Get about that seat. That's what you need. Get over she's out. Excuse me. Warn her. She needs to be back.
That's her second warning. That's her second warning, man. Eric did that, and you gave him 2 warnings. No, she should have had a warning. She should have had a warning. You told her to be quiet. For real, man. And then y'all hate when somebody say something about black and white. Oh my God, man. That's bullshit.
You allowed that.
Right.
I'm not talking to you because you need to bring this council together. So don't sit there talking to your breast to me. Don't do that. You have an even better one. You need to be putting her out, Judy. If I stood up, there would be a confrontation. No, she walked towards me. I felt threatened. Now, what if she stepped towards me and I did something? That was your fault. You're right.
Wow, she agrees. You gave Eric 2 warnings when he kept on doing that. That was wrong, Judy. See?
All the way is going in.
That was wrong.
Even what was the threat, liar? What was the threat?
Somebody go get the ambuscement woman.
All you do is lie. I threaten her. I don't make threats.
Look, you got 4.
Whatever I say.
They done divided up. You got the 4 blacks up there, and then you got the 4 whites back there. That was.
Okay, so not a proud moment. Actually, I'm gonna take that back, Mickey. I'm proud. I stayed in my seat. I stayed in my seat. Judy, who was chairing the meeting was out of control. Our meetings have been completely out of control, and I'm gonna tell you why. If the chair doesn't chair fairly, they're going to be out of control. When Judy chairs, they're out of control. When Liddell chairs, they're completely out of control, and she does rule like a dictator. And let me get this wrong. I'm not conflicted with Judy. I actually like Judy. Some of the things Judy does is just I don't agree with, but I don't think in Judy's heart Judy is a bad person. And that's why I said she's done some things that have not been fair, to me. But I get when you pull with a clique, you become part of a clique, and the demands of that clique is to go against everyone else and to cause hate. That's not Judy, really. So I know people may say, well, why do you even like Judy? I really look at a person's. I don't think Judy is that way. And some people say, well, Judy is race. I think Judy, I'm not going to completely throw away into that group. I'm not. I think that Judy would be a different person if she wasn't with Eva and Liddell. She is a different person when she's not with Eva and Liddell, actually. And so that is the Judy Priestley that I like. Judy who likes her dogs, Judy who plays her flute, Judy who has her garden and who does her things. And that is the Judy that I knew that I wish we still had who first started. Because I remember when I was the finance chair, they did not want Judy in there because she was a Republican. And I had to meet with the mayor. And this is what I told Judy. Every meeting that I make with the mayor, you will be there. And I held to that. They didn't want her there because Judy didn't believe in wearing a mask. And it was during COVID. And they didn't want Judy there because she was a Republican. And they didn't know which way she would go. And I told Judy, and she'll tell you, I said, every meeting that I'm there, you will be there with me. Because in my absence, I want to make sure she was the deputy finance chair, the deputy finance chair. And so if I was to be absent or have something, city business still has to go on. And so Judy was to take my place. And so that's how you take care of business. So when I went to meet with the mayor and his administration, I took Judy with me because that's how you do business and you're transparent. Now, this Judy we got, I don't know her. And some of these things I don't like, but when you pull into a group, then it becomes a problem. So in that video, I stayed in my seat. I stayed in my seat. I did not, I asked the chair to administer discipline. She wanted to discipline me also with Eva. We know when people get out their seats, it becomes a problem. What people don't hear all the time is all the crazy things that Eva Worthing is saying. Eva has a nasty, filthy mouth, and she cusses all the time underneath. And she was even questioning Dennis Pfeiffer's parenting. I'm like, y'all need to check her because you check her. So in that video, she's on there with a known racist, Tracy Withy Whitey. Can you put that one up? Um, and he makes a remark. And so Liddell Lewis, we get back to handkerchief head Negroes now, because people want to know, why don't you stop Mays from saying handkerchief head Negro? Why did you not stop Mays for doing a handkerchief head Negro dance? One, I'm not jumping out my seat to go in no aisle to do that. I'm not chairing the meetings. But when I did chair, I had none of that, because I was even fair to those who disliked me, because that's what the chair's responsibility is to make sure you keep everyone in the meeting so that every ward is represented. And that is the goal of the chair. So Liddell Lewis, with after that, when she decides to go on with the known racist who makes all sorts of racist marks and comments against Black people, Tracy Withy. So Flint's second ward is Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. She says, Tracy Withy always then gaslights in referring to me. I'm the gaslighter. No, that's her and Eva. She goes, and always then gaslights and makes it a racial issue when it's not. Point is, she continued to break the rules by unlawfully taking the floor, was pointing towards Worthing, saying, today is not going to be your day. Totally out of order. And that could be interpreted as a threat. Then Eva stood up, which was out of order, and began going back and forth with Burns. If calling a fair game makes me a handkerchief head, I will wear it with pride. Do better. Well, she called her own self a handkerchief head, and I didn't take the floor. Because when the video started, Eva took the floor from me initially. She took the floor from me. And that clip, I don't know who does these TikToks. Tonya Burns has never made a TikTok, but I'm gonna get somebody's child who knows how to do it to help Auntie Tonya out with the TikToks. Auntie Tonya need help with that. So before that, Eva took the floor. So in Liddell's statement, she had it all wrong. Why? She gaslights. Eva took the floor. She took the floor from me. And then she said she will wear it proudly, being a handkerchief head. Well, you called yourself one. And I'm not in the habit of defending the people who are my attackers. She is one of the attackers, one of my attackers. And she'll be like, la, 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 la. No, Liddell, you get caught. Here's another issue. It went back to last year, a little over a year, probably about 16 months ago. Shortly after, maybe I'm gonna say a little over a year. So there was a conversation on the floor. She had stated that Mays called her a mother effing B, a MF&B. So I got outraged, and I was kind of cool at first because I'm getting ready to check Councilman Mays, because that's the woman, right? And so I asked and it's somebody, there may be a clip about it. And during the meeting, so I said to, Councilwoman Lewis, because she was saying, he called me MFB, and he's been calling me one, and the news people heard it. Judy heard it, and they heard it. Okay, so I'm getting ready to check Councilman Mays, because you don't call that, we not doing this. Now, this is when, at a time when I had been, I was a chair. So we had to do a regular meeting. I wasn't chairing, so Allie was chairing. And so I asked the question. I said, Councilwoman Lewis, I said, I asked Councilman Mays. He said, I didn't call her that time. That's not true. Okay. So I asked the news people while we were having a meeting. I said, did Councilman Mays call Councilwoman Lewis an MFB? And the news person is Karen, she's going like this, no. And then she says, no. And the cameraman that she was with was saying, he said no too. Okay, so the camera people didn't hear this. Now she's saying they heard her, and she had a conversation with these camera people. So then I asked Judy during count. I asked Judy. Judy says, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. So then I says to Councilwoman Lewis, I says, Councilwoman Lewis, I don't think you're the type of woman who would allow anybody to call you MFB and you not check them or correct it. There was nothing said about this. I said, because if I'm asking these people, we all in the room together in chambers, if he said it, he should be corrected. He didn't say it. He didn't say it. So here it is, you have this woman who she is starting some of this, but then she wants to throw her hands back like, I got you. Gaslighting. You can't lie. When you lie on a black man, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing when black men get lied on. It takes me right back to Emmett Till and Carolyn Bryant. It takes me back to when, I would go to the South for the summers and my grandfathers and my uncles would always say, and my aunts would talk about how, because they owned a store, what you could and could not do to them, and say, because the life up north was different than it was in the South. So when you tell a lie on a black man, that takes me back to a place that, because I know my history, whether you black or white, you don't do that. So she had been telling people, Councilman Mays called her MFB. And in fact, he had not. The news person said he did not. Judy said he didn't. And then we had a discussion on the floor. She never said on the floor. She just looked with her mask on like, oh crap, I think I got caught in my mess. Because everyone she said heard it, they did not hear it. They didn't hear it. So that's going to be my house cleaning for the day. Because people keep saying, why don't you protect her? She's the attacker most often. She told me she'll give me 30 days because she, and go home and Tonya Burns. I'm not doing that. Let me get out of it because you rule like a dictator, but you don't want to get your friends in order. You let your friends just run off. When your friends tell you, go ahead, give me a warning. And she did not repeatedly. Eva just got her first warning, but I had to go back and forth and pin her in a corner to do it. And that to me is not good leadership. The role of the chair is to keep everyone in the meeting. She does not keep everyone in that meeting. She does not. And that last meeting, it was again a terrible meeting. Her energy, her vibe. It's like going to a bad concert and they lip syncing or something. It's like going somewhere where you be like, oh, this energy is just bad. She often tells the police, Officer Metcalf, can you get the honest? Don't weaponize our Flint police officers against the Flint residents. Do not weaponize Flint police officers against the Flint residents. They have a right to come in there to speak. She gave Councilwoman Jerry Carter a warning because she had said, I saw the way you looked at me. Winfrey Carter, that's your warning. What kind of warning is that? I mean, she can't say that. And she does buck her eyes at people. She is good at, throwing the rock. She throw a brick and hide her hands. And then she'll claim victim, like Councilman Mays called her MFB, and he did not. He did not. So when it comes to going back to the handkerchief head Negroes, when she was butting up with Tracy Whitney, she had no problem saying she will wear it proudly. Well, Mays is going to do something that's going to try to clown you, and he did. He clowned her by putting on those T-shirts, which she said her image and Quincy's image. He put handkerchief head Negroes, and I don't know who gave them out. They gave them out at the meeting. But you can't scream foul when you on social media telling a racist that if calling a fair game makes me a handkerchief head, I will wear it with pride. You can't call foul now because he done put it on a shirt, and I'm not going to defend you in your mess. If he messy, you messy too with it. Y'all need to get in the room and figure it out. But I'm not going to defend that because she became part of the problem. I'm not going to have a slave mentality where I'm going to defend my attackers. So don't call me and say, well, why didn't you defend her? She said she gonna wear it proudly. That's not my business. When I believe that Councilman Mays called her MFB until she made me look like a fool and he did not. I was done with her at that point because I was ready to go in on him. And it's a whole conversation about that. So when we talk about what's fair and what's not fair, she says she will wear it with pride. Well, that shirt thing is her thing with him, and they need to patch that up or whatever. I don't care what they do. Tonya Burns ain't a part of it. I don't chair any meeting. I'm not a chair of not one single thing on that council. So it is not my responsibility to keep order and decorum. If they want somebody, they need to change the chairs. But the two chairs, the chaos it's out of control. It's out of control. When you got a person who rules like a dictator, I'm going to give you 30 days. You know what? You're not going to have me threatening my seat in the sixth where people said, you're going to stop that. You don't want them up there. She always got something to say back at people. She is a bully. She is a bully. Like when Tonya Burns, like I came out, but I was looking for the trash. It's a whole video show. You wasn't looking for no trash. Officer Davis gave Councilwoman Lewis several directives. Be quiet. Stop talking. She was trying to defuse the situation. I need you to be quiet. So he had to tell her, I need you to shut up. Until she said that, she was in a whole zone with her head because she goes in to manipulate, to lie, to deceive, and she do it time after time. And we got to stop saying because your skin is black, thinking that all black people get along. Don't ask me to protect the person who's coming after me. I'm not going to do it.
I got a question.
Yes. Mickey, they can't hear. Mickey say he got a question. Where your mic at?
Nah, right here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, awesome. So how do you feel about that with them trying to have us work with people that we know is not good?
Let me tell you something. You cannot work with everybody. Don't ask me to cuddle up with a snake. Only thing that I think snakes are good for is for accessories, such as belts, shoes, and purses. I may wear them, but I'm not working with them. You can't, because some people don't have the heart. When I look at the heart, I look at what are people doing. I'm looking at your actions and what you're doing. Pump station number 5, she voted no twice. When it came to, there's a lady who called her, she's not taking her messages back, who needs a roof, whose ceiling fell in. She's not calling that lady back, Miss Mayfield. When we talk about the things that she's doing, she put out the black people, she won't discipline the white. Attorney Katina Irvin gave a whole dissertation or a legal brief to Liddell. She wanted to go back and forth with her. Does she have the black people, or even her ward is 96% black? Does she have the will of the people in her ward? And I don't know if she does. I mean, I'm not in her ward, but a lot of them say no, because them people, a lot of them couldn't afford to have that, that poop in their basement. How do we get along? She cannot call foul on them t-shirts when she out there with the racists talking about how it's kumbaya. She kumbayaing with him and saying it's okay. Now she wants to say it's my image. And she said at this meeting, it's on those t-shirts and calling me a handkerchief. Hey, you called yourself one. You called yourself one and said you would wear it proud. And that was the silliest thing and no, that was just dumb. It was just dumb to say that, because Councilman Mays just came back and used it and he clowning them with it. I mean, you deal with somebody like that. Y'all, the rules of engagement, she's engaging with him, but she thought she was coming after me when she made that and was being smart. No, quit being a keyboard gangster on there going after people. But let's get back to, so house cleaning is done. With that part, I want to give my shout out to Councilman Pfeiffer. Y'all thought I was crazy when I said he was not going to go along with them checks. And I did not talk to him. I said when Jerry Winfrey Carter was here, he is not going to support them getting donations. Looks like, in my opinion, looked like bribery. Now they want to, with the legal opinion. You get the legal opinion before you take the money. You read the city charter. Quincy worked on that city charter. Page 11 tells you cannot take donations. You can't do it. You can't do it for any business or seeking to do business. Now, what is being challenged, and we're going to have to wait till next week, because y'all have to tune in, that legal opinion that Attorney William Kemp is being challenged. The news, Flip Beat had asked for it, and I believe MLive, he has not released the legal opinion, the city attorney, because y'all know, it was a terrible legal opinion. So when I said Councilman Pfeiffer was not going to go along with that, I was sitting in my seat over there because he had not talked to me like, whoa, okay, you getting down like that. So I want to play the video. Oh, we got to pull it. Can you? I sent you at the part where he went in depth on the city council. I needed to be at 1 hour and 22 minutes. I sent the link for special meetings. So I was surprised when I wasn't surprised. I was like, you know what? Finally, we're doing good business coming together. We have got people. Yeah, the 1 hour and 22 minutes. And he spoke his piece on why he was not supporting it. Then turned around and did a whole ordinance to say, any loopholes that they're going to do, I'm breaking it up. Then he stated, Attorney William Kim would not help him do it. That is the job of the city attorney. That is the job, J-O-B. So 1 hour and 20. So I wanted to listen to what he said. You might want to, yeah, that's good. Well, no, I said 122 and 122 and 55 seconds. Okay, you can start right there. Mike's muted. Okay, Melissa. So while we're coming in, we got a little late start today. And I want y'all to stay tuned after my show. We have Melissa Mays coming up to give her update. Okay, so here it is with Councilman Pfeiffer with him speaking.
Reimbursed that are due, and ones that are not due don't get reimbursed. So I think that was important. Now for this main motion, I'm not sure how I'm going to vote, and I'm going to hopefully lay it out here in the next 3 minutes and 55 seconds. I do support this project. I think that this property has been left to the city of Flint residents, and we've been handed basically a no-win situation. There's not a line of people looking to develop this property, and I realize that it's been dormant for a long time. And whatever taxes we get is going to be more than we're getting today without dollars leaving taxpayers. That's the design of the TIF. It's to cover cost. We're not out of pocketing anything. I think if it's one job, it's one job that we can't afford to lose, let alone the jobs that are planned for the amount of development that's happening. So I do support it. However, I believe that through whatever happened to members of this council and payments made by Ashley Capital, their CEO, and the PAC to members of this council tainted this vote. So it is my opinion that certain members should abstain from this vote. And I've said that on the record, and I'm saying it again. I believe that if we go down that road of certain members can solicit funds to their nonprofit, to a profit that's their fiduciary, we're going down a slippery and muddy road. And I will not be a part of that. So if my colleagues do not abstain and they vote yes to approve this, I will abstain because I will not be part of that vote. However, with my support of this vote and the good that this will do to the community, if they abstain, I will vote to approve, but I will not approve if they don't sustain or they don't abstain from the vote. So I think with every vote, there's pros and cons, and you have to look at the whole project and the good and the bad of what it would happen if it does get approved, if it doesn't get approved, what are the implications? And I've looked at all of that, and that's where the conclusion I've come to, that it's a good project, but I will not vote for it if my conscience and will not let me sleep at night knowing that I participated and approved something that is very questionable in my opinion. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not saying that certain people should be prosecuted or whatever else, but I believe there's an ethical duty that we have. And if this is the hill I gotta die on, this is the hill I gotta die on, because I know the wrath that'll come at me if I do vote for it or I don't vote for it. But at the end of the night, I gotta live with myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pfeiffer. Ms. Worthy?
I do hope the council member in the board is listening to his constituents in the board and not just a select loud few.
Okay, so Councilman Pfeiffer spoke up, and Councilwoman Winfrey Carter has stated how she felt, and she expressed her reasons why, and she did. And so when you got council saying, let's move this council in the way of honesty and transparency, those are the kind of elected officials we should all want or have the desire to be. So what did Councilman Pfeiffer do? He sent over to he decided to he did an ordinance. Now, the legal department didn't help him, so he did this himself because they were defending why they took donations. Page 11 of the charter states clear, you cannot take any donations, with businesses seeking to do business with the city of Flint, you're an elected official. You can't do it. And guess what? State law says that too. So that legal opinion came in as I didn't understand. And we know that legal opinions that Attorney Kim has done prior, like the DDA, he's had to retract and recant it and state that no, that legal opinion was incorrect. And I don't know if he may have to do this one, but I've had some attorneys, I'm waiting for it to be released at our next meeting, so we can take a vote on his opinion, because I do have some independent ones who state this was not a good opinion that the legal department gave, and this was incorrect. So let's put up the resolution that Councilman Pfeiffer, it's two parts. So in this resolution, section 1, the purpose and the content. So this is a resolution which we'll vote on to make it law. It says section 1, purpose and content. This ordinance is established to maintain transparency, integrity, and ethical conduct within the city of Flint. This ordinance aims to prevent conflicts of interest by prohibiting city officials who hold directorships positions in nonprofit organizations from accepting donations from entities engaged or attempting to engage with the city. So we know that Councilwoman Lewis, and can you go back up to that one which shows she's the director and her husband? So this is in, yeah. What's that? And I know I'm moving around a little quick. The Laurel one. It looks like this. Okay. So, so and hers, and people say, well, Councilman Murphy used his through Habitat for Humanity, which, by the way, Habitat for Humanity It's on to receive funds from the ARPA. And that's a conflict of interest to me, knowing that they gave him a lawnmower. But in full disclosure, Habitat for Humanity really threw Councilman Murphy underneath the bus and said they are quoted saying, let me get it right. They said Third Ward Councilman, and this was in the article with Ron Fonger. I said Third Ward Councilman Quincy Murphy, who cuts grass at Dewey Park on vacant and abandoned properties in the area, was given a lawnmower by Genesee County Habitat for Humanity after Ashley Capital donated $11,000 for the purchase to have Habitat. Habitat's executive director told M Line, the Flint Journal, that the mower was given to Murphy as a part of our neighborhood revitalization work, and said Murphy now owns the equipment. So that's his lawnmower. So they filtered it through, and I look at it like how you launder money. That my lawnmower was laundered through, and what they call it, washed out or cleaned up by using Habitat for Humanity. And that wasn't good. He owns that lawnmower. He cuts lawns. I believe he gets paid for some of those lots. And not just that. Y'all look at that sheet where it's that ain't the only thing. Let's go back up to that sheet where it's got a list of them, Mickey. It's highlighted in red, and it's got like 3 of them, which has got the donations. Now I did not. It's gonna be it looks like. No, keep going. That one right there. Yeah. So on this one, it tells who got money. And Habitat for Humanity, $11,000 for the lawnmower. Cyrus Park got $1,500. Flint Boys and Girls Club, which is in the 4th Ward, received $7,124. Crossover Outreach, $8,675. Individual Flint households received $4,750. Value of clothing, gifts, and food cards for 45 people during Christmas holiday. Well, Councilman Murphy outed himself on that one because I didn't know who that belonged to. It belongs to him. He said they gave him money for Christmas to give away, to give gifts for the holiday. So Ashley Capital gave $11,000 and then another $4,750 to the 3rd Ward Councilman. Now I want to know who those 45 families that he gave to, because Quincy just got to talk, and I was like, who is letting him talk this much? Somebody he's like, I've been waiting for this, but we've been waiting for it too. But we're gonna let you talk, sir. You got the flow. I took that money. I'm a lobbyist, and I took this. Okay, but 11,000 now 4,750. That belongs to you too. So he took about what, $16,000, donated gifts, cash. Yeah, page 11, Quincy. You're a charter scholar. You can't take donations and gifts. So he done took them from 2 different. That's just the ones we know about. Let me be clear. Those are just the things we've been able to document. So let's go back. I'm sorry, back to the Laura one. I apologize, Mickey. And we got a late start. I'm on Melissa May's time. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to Laura. So you got people on there saying, well, it's Dr. Liddell Lewis said, she corrected herself. They gave that money to me and Ashley Capital. Then after she said 2-3 sentences later, she said to Cyrus Park. Okay. But let's look at who Cyrus Park is, because she didn't report it. And the problem is they didn't report it. They taking money and you chairing and you didn't report it. There was no disclosure. And the charter says you can't take it. And I believe it's taken some of this money was given a few days before on some of these donations. So Cyrus Park, when she said it had been established, the park had been established, but in 2021, August 2nd, she established the Cyrus Park Neighborhood Association. This is Liddell Lewis. On this, the president, Liddell Lewis, treasurer, Deshelle McDonald, secretary, Shaylin Williams, that's her husband, director, Liddell Lewis, director, Shaylin Williams, that's her husband. So when we look at, you cannot have a husband and wife on a nonprofit like that. And I think it's only 3 people, the size of it. So I believe there's some violations with that. But she does benefit. Her board isn't neutral. These are family members, and she holds these positions. Now, she is by no way a new politician because she has held an elected office in Maryland. So don't y'all fall for that okie doke. She's seasoned. She's done this before. She held an elected office and then she ran for that elected office again. And she did not win that seat. I think she came in 4th, or she came in last. Which she came in 4th, and she had held it on. So we can't say, well, she's green to this, like she's trying to get people to, to believe. That's just not true. She held public office before, and she's not new to being a politician or an elected official. Kind of like, oh, I made a mistake. No, as she said, I'm trying to get ahead of it. Now, she was really trying to get ahead of it. She would have asked for the legal opinion first. And let's be clear, I stated on the record and discussed a community benefit agreement. So if we talk about everybody's taking donations, there should have been a community benefit agreement. And I spoke about that and talked about that during council. And I sent an email to our city attorney and deputy city attorney because we need a community benefit agreement. They didn't do this, beforehand. They did not do it. So when you're nonprofit and you're the director and you're taking money, it looks shady, and it's not a little shady, it's shady. And you didn't disclose it. Then you defend it, then you get upset and say, well, I made a mistake, I won't do it next time. You're not a newly elected official anymore. You've been here almost 2 years, and then you served in another state as an elected official. So those are 2 different things. So I'm not giving no passes on this. When people get caught, then they want to talk about it. But they should have disclosed. They had an opportunity to disclose every time Councilman Mays talked about it. Because every time Ashley Capital came up, he talked about, they donated $1,050 to my campaign when I ran for mayor. He talks at length. Everybody know when he get that 5 minutes, he don't use up 5 minutes and 15 seconds is his wrap up, because that's how he obviously gets down. They had an opportunity to chime in probably 15 or more times to say, let full disclosure, we did take donations from Ashley Capital also. There was no disclosure. But Councilman Pfeiffer wrote that ordinance because, yes, there has to be integrity. I personally feel it was unethical that they took that money and then didn't disclose it. And then turned around when it was asked to recuse themselves, which I felt they should have. Councilman Murphy doubled down and said, I'm waiting for this. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for this. Well, you didn't told on yourself about the $11,000. Now the $4,750 we know belongs to you too. So that's $16,000. So which is it worse? Is it worse that Councilman Murphy used Habitat for Humanity, or the fact that we also have Liddell Lewis, who is the director, and that was her own personal one? Both of them look bad. So writing that ordinance, I agree with it, but the charter is very clear. You can't take donations. But here's the thing. Does this council have the will to discipline its own members? They found the will to kick out Councilman Mays every single time. This council only shows that they have the will to be, to show that that they're biased. Let me say that. They're very biased. That they cannot be impartial. They cannot be impartial. So when people wonder why is it chaos, it's like you go in there and you know that no matter if you have the good intent or will of your ward, that you are working with some people that I consider to be corrupt and lack ethical values. And you've got people say, oh, they shouldn't be saying, yeah, we should say that. Because sometimes you got to talk about it, to clear it out, to fix it. Hiding someone else is what they're doing. That's not solving it. It's not solving it. So I want to make that part very clear with that. And I know we got Melissa Mays, so I'm not going to take up, and it's so many things, my little time. always seemed like it could run over. So when it comes to defending Quincy Murphy and Liddell Lewis, it's not my responsibility to defend them. I stated why, and my reasons are clear. Neither one of them have given me any respect. And I'm not going to defend people who have not given me respect, attacked me personally, verbally, and then people are saying, why don't I protect them? No. Councilwoman Lewis stated she doesn't mind. She'll wear it proudly. What a racist. This same racist was calling Black people gal, and saying derogatory. You can't do that, And so she found comfort in saying she would wear proudly being a handkerchief head Negro. Well, Mays clowned her with that by putting it on the shirt. And if she had been, operating with clean hands, then I would have defended her. But when she had stated before, way back, and it's on camera, on video, she said he called her MF, a mother F and B, and he did not, because she's trying to sway public opinion against him. And I don't get along with Mays all the time. I don't think Mays get along with himself sometimes. It was one meeting I was chairing. He put himself out the meeting because he knew he had went way over and what was going to be next. He put himself out. But 5 times, I think at least 4, 5 times, I asked Mays to leave. I removed him from the meeting. But I mean, you have to have, and Mays gonna push the envelope. That's what he do. Now, and I'm not saying that it's correct, but how many times has she put Eva out the meeting and Judy put Eva out the meeting? Not one time. And so the role of the chair is to be impartial and to chair fairly. And that's not what is ever happening. So don't ask me to protect the people who said, number one, they'll wear it proudly, and it was in print. I put it up for y'all to see. And don't ask me when a grown man, Quincy, was staring at me all kind of cuckoo for crazy for Cocoa Puffs and then talking crazy to me. Don't ask me to defend him. I have said to Quincy before, you have never apologized to me. And he said, and that's right, and I'm not going to apologize. Okay. Don't ask me to defend somebody who has talked crap about me and expect me to defend them. I don't teach that lesson to my children. And as a grown woman getting ready to be 55, double nickels, I'm not putting up. I'm not waiting till I'm 80 to say what I'm saying. I gotta say now, and I own it. But I'm not defending those people who attack me. This is not a kumbaya moment. Like I said, when it comes to snakes, only thing I want with a snake is for accessories, for a belt, a pair of shoes, or a purse. And I don't want a wallet because a lot of them snakes, when you put them in there, your wallet sensitize the magnetic strip or whatever to go bad in them. Only thing I want with a snake is for accessories. I'm not cuddling up with them because they're not right. And they try to sway public opinion. You have to watch what they say to people and how they do it. They want people like the misinformation. So they all say misinformation. I like to say lie. And who's saying misinformation? Mayor Neely. Mayor Neely has worked so hard to get some of these reporters fired, to get rid of them when they do their job and do true journalistic work. Young lady did a story, and I'm quite sure she got yelled at because we put up a lady who needed a roof, a porch for Miss Mayfield. And that story was changed by 11 o'clock. But let me tell you some of the history of what Mayor Neely does do. When Ronnie Dahl first got here, he gave her information to go after me and Mays. And she called me, and that's how me and Ronnie Dahl became friends. He went after her to get her fired. He's made comments. He called about Chloe. He called about Alexis. And I could go on. He goes after reporters. If you're not reporting the story he wants because he thinks he owns these news stations, he will go after these reporters and call their producers and editors to get them fired. He's done it. He had Katie O'Neill give a press release out to all the news agencies against me, saying Tonya Burns' plagiarizing behaviors was destroying the council. Mayor Neely, your plagiarizing behaviors was destroying the city of Flint. We have an image problem. Leadership begins with you. You lack leadership qualities. You do not possess them. And you are a liar. You keep lying on every single person and then try to walk away like you're not doing it. I'm hip to you. I mean, I'm tired. People, like I told you, I got fired every day. Why? Because you got to tell the truth. He was willing to skirt the truth a lot. Like I said, he didn't put a whole press release on the city website about me. a whole press release. Tonya Burns plagiarizing behavior. No, I'm calling a spade a spade. And that's what I'm doing. He wants this city to work together. Flint has an image problem with the mayor, Neely. Over 30 some key department heads quit underneath his leadership. That's a failed leader. They went to work for other municipalities that they're thriving. But a lot of them will still call or text or send a call and say, hey, hang in there. Well, we know what he did to you, what he said, about you. He does this. He divides and conquers. He tell people don't come around Tonya Burns. Don't believe what she's saying. I put up the facts, just like Ed Taylor came there about that meeting. He gonna quit coming in there lying on me because I'm gonna check him every time. I'm gonna put up the facts that we knew about that meeting. And Ed is the deputy chief of staff. When he get his people to be his henchman for him and go after you, and that's what he does. You're not gonna go after me. I'm not very good at playing the victim. I'm not. What I done been through and survived, and God gave me a chance of life again with my health. I ain't thinking about him. Not at all. If I have to eat pork and beans and hot dogs every day, I'm going to do what I got to do because I'm going to keep my integrity and my character. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to live according to what my means are. But he tells people, he tell everybody about, don't hang around Tonya, don't be around Tonya Burns. Tonya Burns is bad news. Always it's the person who's telling you that's who you don't need to be around. Flint has an image problem. You have a mayor who cannot keep the city staff. Almost every department, many of the departments, the police department has 25 open positions. You have the DPW department that's over 50% understaffed. The fire department, I think there was 18 or 19 slots open. Nobody wants to work with Mayor Neely because he is a micromanager. I work with him. So this is truth time, truth and transparency. I'm going to lay it out there. When we got a leader where talent, you wonder why you can't get 911 calls? Well, because he's micromanaging Chief Green. He wanted to be the police chief. No one wants to work for the police department. What happened to the fire department? Whoa, he went through with a great big wrecking ball. Got all involved in the fire with the two boys who got killed, unfortunately, in the fire on Pulaski Street. We look at the ambulance service. What happened to Stat EMS? After he stood with Mayor Neely, Stat is up on charges, and they went out of business. So when you stand with some people, y'all better be careful. Key people level. I can't even count. We probably have 35 people now that have quit the city of Flint and went to work in other municipalities and doing a great job. Guess whose water quality is being improved in Swartz Creek? I'm sorry. Our director went over to Swartz Creek, and now our water quality, we still don't have service lines fixed, but their water quality is being improved over in Swartz Creek, and that was our DPW director. And by the way, we do not have a DPW director at this point. Since March 17th, when Mike Brown quit, we have been operating without one. Clyde is it by the fact that not because he's licensed for it, he has to deal with that office because it's a vacancy. So it's a vacancy in the DPW. Now, we don't have service line fixed. We don't have people. Lady sent me her water running brown. We don't have someone who's looking out for the best interests because we don't have that department head. When department heads keep leaving, people need to pay attention. They need to pay attention. But when Mayor Neely is talking, he talk out of both sides of his mouth. We have to get along, but don't talk to Tonya Burns. Don't deal with Tonya Burns. Then he got Ed Thomas. I got an email a week ago. No, I didn't. I got that email 4:29 p.m. on Wednesday. I attended that meeting at Thursday, 12 o'clock, and I don't have to answer no email when Neely or Ed tell me to. Let that be clear. I'll answer the damn email when I'm ready to. That's what happens. You don't run Tonya Burns. That's what you don't do. So they need to stop that. So I know we got into a lot and unpacked some things, but I just want people to be clear, with some things. If we want our city to, number one, be better, we got to have leaders who are ethical. We have to have leaders who will be transparent and who will be truthful. We have to have leaders who are not trying to divide and work in a clique. So when they're telling you that misinformation, ask them what's the misinformation. Get me in the room with the misinformation they're telling me about. because I'm very good at speaking up for myself. Get me in the room. It's the same thing with Melissa Mays. Get them in the room, Melissa Mays, about the service lines. Get them in the room, because he said he satisfied all of them. No, because I think I sent Melissa Mays some addresses this week to contact. So I'm gonna close out with this. There's a lot to unpack. Our time goes very quick. I want to send shouts out to Mickey Jordan, who is my engineer, who my tech guy, and things have to, we had to move some things around, do some things. Truly sorry we were late coming on, but without Mickey Jordan, we could not do it. I want everyone to click, like, and share. And then please donate to 8110 News Media, because this is where you get the real news, not the I don't even know what you call it. I hate to use that word. You get the real news, the news that you would normally hear about, the things that are hidden and covered up, because I owe it to my ward and to the city of Flint to be honest and to be transparent. So if you can donate to 810 News Media, they're an independent news source. I don't get paid for this. They don't do we, but we need to make sure that we're keeping the lights on and able to have a place that we can bring to you the real news out there so that you can get and you will know what's going on in the city of Flint. It's a tough time. We got some good shows that are lined up and want to continue to grow the platform for 810 News Media. And it's going to take everyone. So if you can donate $5, $25, $100, if you feel more, you can do more than that. Listen, we would love for you to share it. Absolutely love for you to share it. So if you have got a donation you could give, we would love for you to do that. Absolutely love for you to do that. So I want everyone to have a good weekend and stay tuned for Melissa Mays. We need to get her in the room with the administration. Just that. But we might want to have some ambulances on and watch Arthur Woods gonna say ambulance. I would like to see her in the room with them. So Melissa Mays, so the pipes still aren't fixed. They're reporting that they're still in court. We're waiting on Judge Lawson, right? Okay, and so I'm going to invite you to September 9th. I want to invite you to my meeting so that you can speak. September 9th, 12 noon, I want to put you on because we need to stop letting these politicians who trick us control everything. One thing we shouldn't have to guess about our service lines, are we drinking clean water and is our lead levels going up? That's not something we should turn our tap on and drink the water and get in the shower, wash our hair and lean back and feel comfortable that if the water run down my face into my nose and my mouth, that I might not be contaminated or have something in my body, bacteria or lead, because all these service lines have not been changed. So I'm going to invite Melissa Mays to my September the 9th meeting so she can speak. She's going to be one of the speakers. And see, this is how we do it. We quit letting them hide and feed us the BS. We got to quit letting them hide and feed us the BS. Mayor Neely, if you want to have a better city, be a better mayor. Be a better mayor, because you are the mayor of the city. And this city is underneath your leadership. So if everything is chaotic, it's because you have chaos around you. You want this city to be better, be a better mayor. I want everyone to enjoy the rest of their weekend. I'm going to sign off and thank you to Mickey and then also to Melissa. I hope everyone was able to enjoy the show and have a good weekend.